My name is Dr. Kevin McGrew, and I'd like to talk to you about the brain clock. My involvement with the brain clock and interactive metronome happened through serendipity. I got a call from a colleague named Dr. Gordon Taub a number of years ago, and he was involved in a study with interactive metronome in a elementary school system where they were having one group of children do interactive metronome and another group of children in a control group do physical activity in an education class instead. Gordon explained it to me about the synchronized metronome clapping and tapping, and I immediately said, "Get away from this, Gordon. It's high-tech snake oil. Run. Your reputation's too important." Because I couldn't believe it would do this, that it would work, and help with kids with reading, and could help with things like ADHD, golf, stroke rehabilitation, which he was telling me that the research had suggested. But he convinced me to come down, so I came down and I watched the operation with the children doing the training and heard anecdotal reports from the classroom teachers and tried it myself, and I immediately knew intuitively that this neurotechnology was not high-tech snake oil, that it was working on some aspects of attention, working memory, and executive functions. So because it was extremely demanding. So I got involved with Gordon, signed up to do the study with him, and when the data were all collected, we found a very significant difference between the children who had the interactive metronome training and those who didn't. And those who had the training showed significant improvement in reading fluency, or how fluent they were in reading words, and other reading-related fluency behaviors. Needless to say, I was a bit blown away by this finding, but also excited about it. So we published an article in Psychology in the Schools in 2007 that explained the results, but we had to explain why. What's the hypothesis for this? Because people really didn't know or could explain to me why interactive metronome or synchronized metronome tapping could improve reading, and also in other studies could improve golf swings, ADHD, behavior disorders, recovery from stroke, gait and movement disorders, and speech. I just couldn't understand how this could work. So I set out to dig through the literature, and I was blown away by the sheer mass of research literature I found in a wide array of disciplines such as human biology, neuroscience, neuropsychology, neurology, intelligence, cognitive psychology, the psychology of music. I found a common theme of the concept of human timing, of human brain clock or human brain clocks, that different researchers in different disciplines were focusing on, but not cross-talking to each other, not crosswalking the ideas. So that was my goal, was to synthesize that in a model, theory, or hypothesis which would explain what I called, quote, what is happening under the hood in IM, unquote. And I became convinced that there was a jack-of-all-trades cognitive mechanism in the brain that must be a brain clock that, if manipulated, improved, could produce improvements in a variety of domains of human personal competence. That was the only possible explanation. It had to be a jack-of-all-trades domain general mechanism, and not some kind of cognitive mechanism that if you trained, it only transferred into one specific area, such as just golf. This excited me a lot because that's kind of been the holy grail in the area of intelligence, trying to find out what is the essence of intelligence, and are there some interventions you can apply to certain cognitive functions that will help you do better across a diverse array of human competencies. And that's what the interactive metronome and other brain clock-based methodologies seem to be doing. So I set out to write about it and share my information on the Brain Clock blog. Eventually, interactive metronome folks asked me to come and speak at their conferences to help them understand why their technology was working across such diverse areas. As a result, I've become extremely excited, almost intoxicated in terms of the pursuit of knowledge about the human brain clock-based interventions and technology, not just interactive metronome, but any neurotechnology that improves the human brain clock and thus seems to have the ability to improve cognitive and motor performance in a variety of domains. I continue my journey, I continue to read, and I hope you will join me in that journey by visiting the Brain Clock blog and visiting the Mind Hub webpage. Thank you.